In this video, we'll discuss how we might scale learning to a global level, including borrowing principles from other fields such as economics, business management, marketing, sales, and project management. Let's start by understanding the nature of society and humanity. Earlier, we discussed that a defining characteristic of the nature of being human is unlimited needs and wants. Economists refer to this as utility, but we can also call it value. Economics studies how we optimize our utility or value under the assumption that our resources are limited or scarce. But maybe our resources are actually far less limited than we assume, and maybe the scarcity is caused more because we're not very good at working together to produce value. To demonstrate, let's look at another characteristic of being human: interdependence. In its most basic form, interdependence looks like this: two people exchanging value. As we've discussed before, we both have potentially infinite needs and wants, and we both have potentially infinite capabilities, talent, skills, knowledge, assets. We're also both operating in an environment full of constantly increasing obstacles and challenges, and limited resources. We give each other the products of our resources, talents, skills, knowledge, and assets, and we receive our needs and wants met. Sound familiar? If we scale this system up, we call it an economy. Economic systems come in all sizes. The problem is, we're not good at any of this, and relationships with other humans are ridiculously complex. So, we typically fall way short of getting our needs met, which isn't healthy for us. And if we're not getting our needs met sufficiently, our willingness and capacity to give diminishes. In fact, in our desperation to get our needs met, we might find ourselves gaming the system, manipulating each other, taking things, hurting others, pointing fingers, or trying to fix others. We've been doing this for many generations, so at this point, we've built up many thought processes and mindsets, social dynamics, cultures and narratives, and whole institutions around these exchanges, and most of them are not healthy. Consider, for example, the philosophy of selflessness. We're literally telling ourselves not to get our needs met, which, as we've just shown, diminishes value for everyone. The way it should work is, as we learn, we unlock our limitless potential for learning, growth, and change, and build our human capabilities for empathy, creativity, and innovation. So, when we receive value, we're able to enhance the value we give, and the others enhance the value they give back to us, meaning we receive even more value. And we get that same virtuous cycle we've talked about in other videos. Imagine how much more value we could produce if, as we've discussed in other videos, we were all helping each other to learn and grow. The value would be potentially limitless. Maybe our resources wouldn't seem so scarce after all. Learning can help us address many of our economic challenges. We've mentioned before that being human is hard, including choices, rules, consequences, and ridiculous relationship complexity, and we're not good at handling any of it. Personally, we struggle to navigate confusing labor markets because we aren't good at understanding others' needs or at discerning the value we could be providing for them. Societally, we struggle with crises such as inflation and recessions because we aren't good at working together for mutual benefit or even at making good choices for our own benefit. As we've discussed earlier, despite the fact that we're doing the best we can, everyone in this system looks evil. So we then come to the conclusion that because we're evil, we cannot allow ourselves or others to operate in a free market economy, or our self-interest will run amok. So we attempt to influence or even manipulate the system, which we also are not good at, through controls in government institutions such as through policies and regulations. Based on our other videos, you can see how all of this is just adding to the unhealthy issues that are weighing all of us down. Wouldn't it make more sense if we all focused on learning to learn so that we could optimize our mutual value individually and collectively? As learning professionals, we must be drawing from any fields that we can, such as from business management, marketing, and project management. When we look at the phases of the process, for example, we should certainly be applying project management principles around project lifecycle and management of cost, schedule, quality, resources, and risk. We should be constantly considering whether our approach should be strategic versus agile versus organic. Both the project management and marketing sales professions can teach us about stakeholder engagement and mutual value creation. We should be thinking about such things as market analysis and business modeling to ensure our process remains viable. And we should know how to create value propositions, define and frame a project, and manage the project scope and expectations. Other professions can also help us understand the steps of the process. For example, marketing and sales can teach us how to use creativity to build engagement and infuse energy into the system. We can learn how to create channels to cultivate understanding through mutual flow of value and information. And we can build platforms to coordinate and even automate some aspects of the process. Remember, if we want real, healthy, sustainable change that benefits all of us, learning must be at the center. As we learn how to learn, and then learn to be better facilitators and OD practitioners, we'll learn how to facilitate and scale healthy change across the globe.